Hey John, good afternoon. Willy Guardiola here, Christian on a mission, president of Palm Beach County Right to Life League, and Pro-Lifers for Trump. I'm just trying to settle in here after this whirlwind of a week, Monday through Friday, which has just been a blessing from up above. Monday evening, I had about 50 people here at the house celebrating my 25-year anniversary of moving into this home on the Feast of St. Joseph. And this is a log home that I designed and built going back 26 years ago. And we had Father Gary George, my pastor, and just a bunch of people from our church at Mary Mother of the Light. Tremendous celebration. We've had a bunch of them over the past 5 years. And it was also Father Gary's 5-year anniversary here at Mary Mother of the Light. On Tuesday, I went over to pick up Bishop Strickland, the #1 bishop in the country, at the airport here at 6:30 p.m. I drove him over to the airport Hilton and to have him check in. I dropped him off at the curb, parked my car, started walking over to the lobby, and there was a car that was parked right in front there. I didn't know if he was going forward or backwards, so I walked behind him. He put the car in reverse and almost ran me over. Came within a foot of hitting me. I had no idea who it was, and he rolled down the window. He says, "Yeah, I'm sorry." I said, "Are you okay?" I walked into the Hilton. Little did I know that it was a car full of priests, and also Jesse Romero. You had Father James Altman in there, and Father Richard Heilman, and Father Nix was actually driving the car. So Jesse and Father James Altman screamed out, "That's Willie G. You almost ran over the pro-lifer." So that's how we started our event here Tuesday evening. Anyway, I brought them all into the restaurant there at the Hilton. And I've been told that if you do pay the dinner for, bishops and priests, that you're going straight to heaven. So it was a gathering of a who's who of just Catholic priests, bishop, and some incredible activists and podcast Catholic just evangelists. And it was just incredible. So we had a great dinner, 9 of us there. The pictures are phenomenal. And yes, everybody was wearing one of our God's Got This t-shirt, which has been our theme. And I've been wearing this. It's been my slogan and my mantra for years and years. You look really good in your shirt as well. Anyway, on Wednesday morning, of course, we're at the Hilton, and we had the big event there prior to the big gala at Mar-a-Lago. And Father Heilman did a phenomenal 1-hour reflection there. And then, of course, we had the Mass at 10 a.m. that was presided by Bishop Strickland. Beautiful Mass, beautiful music, the a cappella singing, and it was terrific, and just kind of building up for the big evening at Mar-a-Lago. And it was great to be there with Bishop Strickland. It was his first time ever at Mar-a-Lago, and just to see him walk in, it was just really a beautiful treat and just a great time. What a wonderful event. All the speakers were terrific. And my beef last year was, where are all the priests? And then this year, of course, we had a big donor come in and invited 100 priests for free. So I think we had about 90 or 95 priests there altogether. I met probably 90% of them from all over the country. There were some from Sri Lanka. There was some that were from Bolivia, from Argentina, you name it. And I brought 75 of these God's Got This t-shirts. And I walked out of there with 0. I handed them out to all the priests and people that asked for them and the speakers, etc. So that was a beautiful thing. Just a great evening. We put out the 3-hour video. John Westen, who's the organizer, so that was just across the board, a scale of 1 to 10 to 15. And then, of course, Bishop Strickland was the keynote speaker and did a beautiful prayer thing at the end there with the adoration, the monstrance, and, President Trump's favorite tenor singing the Ave Maria. The chandeliers were shaking in that ballroom there at Mar-a-Lago. So beautiful event across the board. Thursday, for me, was one for the record books. We'll never do this again in our church. Mary Mother of the Light, Maronite Catholic Church, is not part of any of the dioceses of the state of Florida. We're the only Catholic church in the state of Florida that never closed the doors, not one day, because of COVID going back in 2020. And we're the only Catholic church in the state of Florida that could host Bishop Strickland because of the powers that be. You know the whole story. So they have Bishop Strickland, the #1 bishop in the country, hands down and hands together, and Father James Altman, which is one of my all-time favorite Catholic priests, probably as bold as they come, to have him and Bishop Strickland come celebrate the Mass with my pastor, Father Gary George, which I consider one of the best priests I've ever met in my entire life, and Father John Perez, who is the chaplain at the VA hospital here in West Palm Beach. It was just one for the record books. The Holy Spirit was in that church. I'm playing the harmonica in the back with Jesus Lopez on the guitar and singing. And I tell you what, it's hard to describe what was going on. But the funny thing is that when the Mass is going on, who's texting me? None other than John Westen and Jesse Romero. And you guys are asking me if I could go and do interviews or whatever. I'm in the middle of Mass, and Bishop Strickland is delivering his powerful homily. So it was pretty funny. But after the Mass, we had a really nice time for reflection. Father James Allman did his 10 minutes, and Father Bishop Strickland did his 15 minutes. And then I had some pretty funny little comedy routines and stuff, and it was just good. It was fun. Everybody was laughing. The entire church was full. We had to bring in about 25, 30 chairs, so that's a good thing. Again, if we were part of any diocese, we would be the smallest church in there. Tiny little church, but we are powerful. We are very pro-life. Friday morning, Thursday night, we came over here. Bishop Strickland spent the night here. Got up early in the morning, made some serious breakfast, went out here with the bishop, and he told me to feed the sheep. I fed the ducks, and he fed the ducks as well. So I got whistling ducks and the wood ducks and the sandhill cranes. We had a great time. And then we headed over to the two standing abortion mills in Palm Beach County, which is Presidential Women's Center. They've been open for 45 years, 192,000 babies gone down. And then the Planned Parenthood, which is the last standing Planned Parenthood in Palm Beach County, we closed down 3 of them in a span of 12 months. So we got 1 left. And I figured if I could bring Bishop Strickland to both of these abortion mills, I would think the year 2025, we're going to close both of them down. So all in all, it was just a blessing, probably the most significant and the most awe-inspiring week I've ever had in my life. I mean, I just laid there in bed here last night, and I said, dear Lord, what a blessing. How did this happen? And it was just incredible. Just to have Father Gary George, my pastor, allow me to put all these events together. And mind you, he had to leave Thursday night right after the Mass for an emergency. So he put me in charge of the church, and it was just an absolutely beautiful, everything just went flawlessly. The dinner, the food, everything was great. We had 2 big giant cakes for Bishop Strickland. And then the funnest part was doing the Q&A afterwards, because some of the questions were really good. And the answers by these 2 godly men was just unbelievable. So across the board, this past week, Monday through Friday, was a 15 out of 1 to 10. And I thank God that he's given me the opportunity and the blessing to do this, as I am humble as can be. And like I always tell everybody, it's a TTE, total team effort with the GGT. God's got this. Thank you, John.